Hello everyone, welcome to this week's Trimcraft Tuesday video. This week I'm scrapbooking with the just stunningly beautiful Mariposa paper pad from first edition. Seriously, this one is drill worthy. I love it so much. If you want to see a proper flip through, if you haven't already, I did that when I received my design team package, and I will link that because I think it was a good month or more ago. But yeah, the picture I am scrapbooking is actually one I've scrapbooked before in a Trimcraft Tuesday, but I did that layout as a gift for my grandma and obviously sent it off to her, and then I kind of realised I don't actually have this picture for my own album, so I thought I would scrapbook it again. And my grandma loves butterflies, so just perfect paper pad to scrapbook a picture of her and myself. So my main paper I'm using from the pad is this sort of greyish off-white crackly paper. It's hard to describe. Maybe it's coming up on screen nicely enough for you guys to see, I'm not sure, but I thought I would just add a little bit of my own pattern to it. So I'm taking this butterfly mask template thing, I think it's a Kaisercraft one, and then some distressed oxide in milled lavender, and just lightly blending that over that mask, and then just, yeah, got this sort of subtle butterfly background going on. Just adds a little bit of more of a, it's like I'm doing a pattern paper, but I made my own. So for my embellishments, I'm going to do a lot of stamping and fussy cutting. Basically, I'm going to start off using these floral stamps from the V&A 2 collection, also from Trimcraft, and I'm just going to stamp those with some stays on, and stamp them on some bits from the 8x8 paper pad. Now, often when I do this kind of technique of, you know, just stamping and fussy cutting my own embellishments, I will just stamp on white cardstock and then colour them myself with whatever inks or mediums. But I just wanted to bring in more patterns and colours from the paper pad into the layout, so that's what I'm doing with these ones. I am going to colour my own on some other stamp sets that you will see in a minute. This is where I realised I actually had some scraps of this paper pad to use, because I have already done a couple of projects with it, and I was, you know, stamping on whole pieces. I was like, you idiot, you've got scraps to use for this. Anyways, so yes, I've probably left too much of this particular type of footage in, but there we go. That paper there is so pretty, like all those teeny tiny flowers are glittery. I love it so much. Anyways, the other stamp set I'm using here, this is just one of those sort of layering stamp sets. It's by Crafting Together by Lizzie and Rosella. I've probably got that wrong. I bought this a long time ago, and in the haul video I tried to find a link to it and I just couldn't. But, you know, layered flowered stamp sets are not something that's rare, so you know, should be able to find something similar, or you've probably got some anyway. But yes, I'm stamping sort of the background, the whole flower in. At the moment I'm doing shaded lilac, and then just obviously stamping the shape on top. They're very sort of delicate's not quite the right word, but you know, it's not a strong black when you stamp over the top of them, and they are a bit uneven, but to be honest, I kind of prefer that look that's just a bit more raw and looks more handmade kind of thing. Like in some things I'm a total perfectionist, but when it comes to doing layering stamps, I'm not, for some reason. I don't know. Anyway, I also stamped some of these little butterflies. Those are Dovecraft stamps. And then I just blended some oxides over. I used wilted violet and spun sugar, I think. And then I'm just going to fussy cut out all of these little butterflies for, again, more embellishments. When I fussy cut butterflies, I do not bother trying to fussy cut like the little legs or the antenna, whatever, or anything like that. Just because it's, you know, it's too fiddly, and I don't think it really adds anything, and cutting them off doesn't take away anything either. So, you know, make your fussy cutting as easy as possible for yourself, kind of thing. So once those are done, now I can kind of get on to actually creating the layout, so to speak. I'm going to choose these two papers here, both just, oh, it's so pretty. I'm sorry, I will stop banging on about how much I love the paper pad, but I'm just kind of doing this ripped effect to add a sort of border to the layout. It's all down one side on the left and then just a little bit on the right, and I just sort of held the paper against the layout and then sort of ripped where I wanted it to go, kind of thing. And then I did a smaller version with the purple, because obviously that's going to go on top of the green. So yeah, just holding it against that, figuring out roughly where to rip so that the green can be seen, kind of thing. That probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but I think you can get the idea of what I'm trying to achieve there. And then I'm going to add lots of oxides in this layout, by the way, but obviously any inks will do. I'm going to go around the edges of those ripped papers in pumice stone, I think it's called, and that matches that background paper so perfectly. Like, it wasn't, I didn't think that was going to happen, but then, oh, in case you're wondering, probably should have cut that out. I had YouTube on in the background, and someone said something in the video that I wanted to make a note of, so that's what I was just doing there on that little bit of paper. Nothing to do with the actual layout. Anyways, yes, adding that pumice stone around the edges. I also distressed the straight edges of the ripped papers because it was too jarring to have one ripped side and then one perfectly cut side. So I didn't want to rip them again in case I did it wrong, but just distressing them so they were, you know, distressed. And then I'm going to go around the whole layout in weathered wood. It just helps the whole thing. Again, with those ripped pieces and then perfectly straight edges on the other part, or undistressed or whatever, it just looked a bit weird. So doing all different, I mean, the different colours of the inks, but it still kind of works all together. When I glued these down, I didn't put glue on the very edge of the ripped part, just in case I wanted to tuck any embellishments under or anything like that. Turns out that I don't do that, but I had the option to do it if I wanted to. I am aware, by the way, when I'm using my mixed media glass mat, you can see the reflection of my filming light. I don't know how annoying that is. I'm not sure. I'm trying to figure out a way to stop that happening, but I haven't quite figured that out yet. So anyways, just backing my photo with various papers here. I just wanted to bring in some more green and purple, like we're on the borders of the layout. And then that one with the feathers is also a pearlescent one, so just adding that little hint of shine. I really wasn't happy at that stage with how the photo was looking. Like, I was looking at it like something is wrong, it doesn't work, and then all I did was distress the edges of that outside layer, and it just made all the difference to me. Anyways, I don't know if you could notice it, but anyways, this box I'm going through here, this is like really, it's an embellishment box of embellishments I've had for years and years. Like, they're mostly unbranded ones, like ones bought from Poundland like 3-4 years ago, and things that I just really need to use up. So I'm trying to go through it in every project just to kind of use up some bits and pieces. That adhesive lace stuff is actually stuff I still buy because I think it's great. It's from the range, and I just added 2 layers of that with red line tape to the right side of the photo. I just thought it added a nice little extra element there, a little bit of laciness. Those little flowers up there, which I will add later on, those were from Home Bargains, but it was some considerable time ago. Whether they still do them or not, I do not know. So here's all my little stamped embellishments all cut out, and I'm just going to fiddle around with those and figure out where I want them. So I think I do a little cluster at the bottom, a little cluster at the top of the photo, and a little cluster up that sort of right ripped edge there. I think I made a slight error. Those little, like the jaggedy leaves, were from that flower layering set, and I think stamping them, I think I used mowed lawn, and it's just a bit too green, you know, but you know what, never mind, it's fine. I should have gone with a lighter one, but I don't know if I have, like, they didn't quite have the right shade. Anyway, point being, I stuck all those embellishments down off camera because my camera needed to charge, and I assume you guys know how to glue stuff down, like you don't need me to show you how to do that. I added my butterflies, and then for my title, I'm going for love is like a butterfly. It goes where it pleases, and it pleases wherever it goes. And I just googled butterfly quote because I couldn't think of any other title, and I like to add quotes on layouts, and yeah, I just gave it a googs. I don't use Pinterest for this because, controversial opinion, I don't like Pinterest, but yes, so I just typed it out on my computer, printed it off, cut out the little strips, went around them with the weathered wood distress oxide, and then using some alphas just to like highlight the big words kind of thing. So the butterfly, some Maggie Holmes thickers, and then I'm using the Paige Evans little foam thickers for the 2 pleases. I could maybe have done butterfly pleases again, and then goes in bigger alphas, but then it would have been 4 elements kind of thing, and that would have just looked a bit funny kind of thing. I think for the big words there needed to be 3, not 4. I suppose I could have done love in a bigger word, but that would have I'm just rambling here, I'm so sorry. But anyways, that's what I did for my title. I'm adding those little lacy flowers or lace and pearl flowers, using my slow dry tacky glue for that because it's really good for stuff that's not paper, basically. And then finishing off with those little butterflies that I cut or stamped and cut, just popping those on there. And then some splatters of hot gold Heidi Swapp colour shine, because obviously I think I say that for every layout, don't I? Obviously it needed gold colour shine, but it just did. It looks so pretty. I'm also going around a couple of the embellishments with a little bit of this Trimcraft pink glitter glue. It just highlights, like doing it on the butterfly's wings and on some of those little sort of purple flowers. I just think, yeah, just brings something else there, and a little bit of glitter, and it's the kind of thing my grandma would like as well. And then I'm going to go in, surprise surprise, with some Nuvo drops. I started with using the Earl Grey vintage drops, and as you saw, I did that sort of dotty line, you know, when you kind of show the butterfly's flight, but I didn't actually like that. I was going to do it on all the butterflies, and then, yeah, as I said, I didn't like that, so it's only on that bottom one. It's quite subtle, so it doesn't, you know, ruin the whole thing. And then I'm also adding the jewel drops in pale periwinkle, and then Trimcraft ones in pearl lilac purple, something like that. All the correct names will be in the description box. But yes, it's the kind of layout where, I don't know, adding all those tiny little Nuvo drops or big ones or whatever, it's kind of like, it just reminds you of, you know, little butterflies and bugs flying around, wildlife and flowers and stuff. I think that's the kind of thing I was trying to imply there. And I like using the jewel drops on something that's sort of nature based, because they kind of look a little bit like they could be little dew drops kind of thing, even if they are purple, but you get what I mean. Anyways, I am finished. Bit of a rambly voiceover this time. I apologise for that, but I hope you enjoyed it. Nonetheless, links as ever in the description box. Please leave me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Chat to me in the comments, and as always, be sure to visit Trimcraft's website and the inspiration area. The inspiration area of Trimcraft's website is where I go instead of Pinterest, and that's not just because I'm design team, it's because I just think it's better. Anyway, obviously much smaller, but I'm going to stop now. Yes, very much. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.